Hi everyone, it's Leanne from River Creations. Thanks for joining me today. I haven't been on YouTube for a while. I haven't done a video, but I haven't stopped working behind the scenes. All I've done recently is collected a lot of things to go into a journal for food. I'm going to do a food journal. And these are just sheets that I have, and they're all about food, and I've put them in a signature, one signature, and I've got others to add to it, and I've made a bit of ephemera, and I'll just give you a quick go over some of the stuff I've done. I've just cut out advertisements from magazines, and I've just put some cardstock on the back, some old cardstock, and they're quite easy and cheap. So they're just advertisements that you can cut out from magazines and books. I ran through some paint, some acrylic. No, this is watercolor paint, and I just made a little swatch, just a very simple little swatch. Cut out pieces of paper and I put different colors on them. That's something simple that can go into your journal. What else have I made? Right, I was on Light and Easy, I still am, and these were just a long sheet like that with my menu on it, and I've just made them into pockets, as you can see. I just folded them over. It's got menus written on them, day 1 to day 7 on them, and it's got my name on it there. Sorry. And it's just breakfast, lunch, or yeah, breakfast or lunch, not dinner. So I made them into some pockets, and I've got other stuff I've made from advertisements. Let me see. I'll show you a few. Here, once again, I've just cut out some advertisements, cardstock on the back, and you can put them very simple in your journal. Some snow peas. I just cut them out from a magazine. There's another box of advertisement. Now here's snow peas. I've just made that into a card with a little tab on it. I've backed it with some textbook pages. There's also just an egg. So you can cut out all sorts of different things, like this one, some beautiful paper with just a basil leaf on it. That's quite simple to make. There's some, that's some other stuff. I got stuff in the mail. I got some cabinet cards that I can use too, also for family. There's a recipe I just cut out, and I've backed it on some old cardstock, and I've Mod Podged the front to give it, seal it off. So that's quite simple to do. They're all simple to do. Anyway, I've made quite a few things there, and as I do the journal, I'll show you them. Now, oh yes, and these too. But as we go along, I will show you exactly what I've done. Now, I used to, well, I am still on Light and Easy, a diet, 1,500 calories a day, and they give you little recipe cards, and I've used them to my advantage. That one I've just put some vinyl paper on it, sticky vinyl paper, just to stiffen it up. And there's some recipes you can use. I'm not going to do much with them. I've just rounded off the corners. They were square. I prefer the roundness of the corners. And I also had snacks in my Light and Easy, and they came with these little bakery, you know, that had, this one had pikelets. and then you get a smaller size one as well. So I thought instead of wasting them, I should really use them in my journal, and which I have, and I will show you. Here's one of those cards. I have backed it, just some paper, some scrap paper, and I've done the front with some vinyl. Once again, that white vinyl, and I've used some stamping, and I've used a piece of ephemera that I cut out. That's pretty simple. And now I'm going to put that in my journal as well. And then I made these. These are a little bit more complicated. Not complicated, but more work to them has to be done. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. See, that's one of those bigger cards. Here, one of these. And I'm going to show you how I did those ones. They haven't got food on them, but they're still just as pretty to go into your journals. So I've got a few left over that I'm going to do, and I'm going to use some gesso. I'll just move these. So I'm going to use some gesso. Just some white gesso. And I'm going to open it up. And your fingers always get dirty, so remember that. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so I'm going to get some gesso out. And I'm just going to scrape it over my tag. Doesn't matter whether it gets on the back because I'm going to cover it. So I'm going to really go over the entire lot. A little bit can be, stay there. And I'm going to leave a bit of thickness in the middle there, so there's a bit of texture to it. It's not flat, in other words. I've left a bit of bulk there in the middle. These are very simple to do. You do have to dry them. This is just a nice change from using paper or paint. It's just a nice change. We are going to use some, or I'm going to use some, what do you call it? Try and get it flat. There's no scratch marks. It's not too bad. There we go. I'm happy with that. I am going to use some spray, some distressed ink. Not sure what colour that is yet. It might be a honey, I think. Let me just get a wet wipe. I just want to wipe away all this gesso from my card. There we go. It's good. Good to go. Just wipe a bit of gesso off my fingers. It's inevitable you're going to get that on you. It's impossible not to. I don't know why. You'd have to be slow and methodical not to. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is dry them off. I do want them dry. And then we'll use this distressing ink, which is wild honey. Distressing ink, it's wild honey. So I shall be right back. Okay, they're still slightly wet, but they are, oops, where am I going? But they are pretty much dry. As you can see, I've left a lot of that gesso on there. Don't worry about the back, we're covering them. And we've got this one. Okay. And as I said, I was going to use some spray on them, but I forgot my brush. I'll be right back. Right, here we go. I'm going to spray them. Right. Now I'm going to use my sponge brush and I'm just going to dab. Just dab. Dab it all over. Leave some spots white if you like. Don't mind that one looks good. That one too. This one may need a bit more. I only put a tiny bit on. As I said, it's still wet. So you may have to leave them to dry. Matter of fact, you will have to leave them to dry. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. I like the look of them already. Okay, I am going to dry them off. So excuse me, I'll be right back. Okay, I've given them another dry. And as you can see, that's what they look like. And that's what they look like now. I think they're rather, they look old, rusty. And they really turn out nice. I love that technique of gesso with a bit of spray. Okay, next is to decorate them. And we also have to cover the backs. So, I have decided, like the other ones, let me see, I did cut out a few little pretty things to use. Some butterflies, some flowers, some things like that to use. We'll see how we go. Next I want to actually put some stamping down. And I'm just going to use a script stamp like this. Nothing flash. Let me just see if I can pull that camera up a little bit more. Alright. So I'm going to use a soot colour. Distressing ink. Is it distressing ink? Yes, it is. And I am going to just put a bit of script on each one. So let me just stamp it a bit. Let's just see what we can do. I'm not going to be too fussed about anything. I'm just going to stamp it. Whatever happens, happens. Here's another one. Whoop. Might have to move this down a bit. There we go, and one more. There we go. Right, just fixing that. And we put that back where it came from. Right, so we've got our script on. And then it's a matter of just decorating. So, it's still slightly wet, but we can still work with them and we can decorate them. Okay, I'm just going to have a look at what things look like with whatever. Might put a butterfly on that one. Something like that. Got a flower here that I might just put there in that spot. You see how there's gaps here where there's no text at all. You can put something in that. Now let me just see, I did have another butterfly over here. Hang on, I'll just go get it. Put him right there in that spot. I'll just see what this one looks like here. Yep, I like that one better. So I'm just going to use a craft glue. I'm going to stick them all down. Let me just get something. I'm just going to get a bit of cardstock. And I'm going to glue this down. Beautiful day here in Sydney, New South Wales, in the western suburbs. If anyone's from the western suburbs, drop me a line. Love to hear from you. I'm going to stick it where that gap was, and I'm just going to put a piece of paper at the top and make sure it's down. A little bit sticky still, but that's okay. So there's our first one. It's gone from that to that. So it's a pretty big transformation. Let's put our butterfly down. You see how there's a gap? I was trying to explain to you, just a gap there where there's no text. And down there, and up there. There. That's where you put a little picture. Or can put a little picture. Or a little piece of anything, really. A little focal point of some sort. I'm going to put mine right here. And I will just push it down. Excuse me for a moment. Alright. While in that break, I had to take that phone call. It was important. It was business. Anyway, I have finished. And there they are. Now there's a few other things you can do to this, which I will be doing. I will be covering the back with some paper of some sort, probably old book pages, and I will be then edging this with some black paint so that it just has a border around it. And they were fun, weren't they? I really liked doing them. Very simple, very easy. You can make your own. Just cut off some small tags and just sew them up, put some spray on them, and voila, or Bob's your uncle. Whatever. Anyway, I hope that helped you to do something for your own journals. Make some cards, make some tags. And until I see you next time, please take care, everyone, and bye for now.